Howdy, folks. Welcome on in. We are making a pizza pan. Um, what I forgot what the name of the fruit was there for a second. Watermelon. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this Mod Podge here and we're going to smear it like there's no tomorrow. Smear it all over the place. Making sure we get it nice and coated. Then we got that coated. Now we're going to take off the layers of this napkin, lay it on down, make sure it's nice and smooth. Then we're going to take our brayer, or aka a roller, and we're going to roll all over the place until we're satisfied with what we have. Now what we're doing is waiting for the iron to heat up so that we can adhere this said napkin to this pizza pan. I'm getting the sides nice and touched up because it wasn't wanting to stick to the sides. So we're like, ooh, we're going to get this good and done. Then we're going to put that little parchment paper over it. Yeah, I'm not good with words. Parchment paper over it so it don't get stuck. I always try to remember to do this part, but sometimes, one, I don't want to get up, or two, I'm too lazy to get up and I forget. Um, and so we're just ironing it real good, like. Once that's done, we're going to heat it around the edges, making sure it's nice and adhered. Just remember that this is metal, so if you get it too hot, you don't want to touch it. You will burn yourself. I have done this several times, and I don't enjoy it at all. And now we're going to take our green and we're going to paint the edge so it looks like the napkin comes out around the edge. And the color we used was Deep Viridian. On my editing software here, it doesn't allow me to do like slow it down in certain sections, so I wanted to speed up this part because no one enjoys sitting here watching me paint. Now once that's all painted up, we're going to go around the edges with our dryer, make sure it's nice and purtiful and green. Now we're going back around, making sure I didn't miss nothing. Paint, 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 paint. All you gotta do is paint. Now we went and grabbed my half beads because I forgot to pick them up before I came on over here. And now we're going to put them around the edges to see exactly how many I need. Because my OCD won't just let me do a certain number amount. It has to be evenly spaced and I have to like it. So that's what we're doing here. And then they're going to get stuck and then I can't move them. And then I'm going to have to dump the tray upside down here in a little bit trying to get them out. Yep, see, there we go, dumping them out. What I don't know is I just dropped one on the floor. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, now what I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of painter's tapes, I turned it upside down, and I'm taking the half beads, I'm putting them on there so I don't cover my fingers completely, which my fingers stay pretty much painted at all times. So I'm going to shake up the paint. This is Deco Art, I can't even remember the name. Folk Art Chalk Paint Summer Porch. This is my grandmother's favorite color. I just love this color. Before I bought the big bottle, this time I bought the small ones because the big one's getting all kinds of funky chunky and I didn't want to deal with all that. So here we are. Paint, paint, paint. Paint, paint, paint. Done with that. Now we're moving on to drying the half beads. Now we're going to take that same green we used earlier and we're going to do like a dry dust over it. Dry dust, yeah, dry brush over it and give it a little, something something. Make it look all kinds of pretty. Not too much, don't use too much. Then we're going to dry that, make sure it's nice and dry. Now, because I've always had issues with adhering things to metal, I am going to use this E6000 to make sure it never comes off. This thing could go through a tornado and it'd still be attached. There I am peeling them off, putting them where they're going. Then I'm going to come back behind it and I'm going to tape it. Tape it? I mean glue it. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Put my lid back on there because that sucker, let me tell you, gets all kinds of gunky. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take out our crocodile. We're going to put some holes in this sucker so we can hang it up. And also to make holes for the bow, because we're not about to try to hot glue the bow to metal. It don't work. It never works for me, so I always just put some holes in it. Little crocodile doing just fine. Got a little case for it and everything. And it goes back in the drawer because if I don't put it back in the drawer, I'm going to lose it again and I'm going to go crazy. And there's my ribbon I'm going to be using. What I'm doing now is I'm measuring out how big I want the bow part. Just to make sure that they're all the same size. There's 3. I'm going to have 3 loops. Getting the hot glue ready, this most definitely is not to glue it to the thing. This is I'm just doing a no issue bow because I have issues with my hands. I can't hold it for very long. So that's what this is for. And of course I gotta play with my paparazzi jewelry. Drink my juice. Drink your juice, Shelby. Drink your juice. Now I'm using my glue pen to glue it together so it stays in a circle. I was like, what shape is that? Oh yeah, it's round. I round you, you round me. We're a happy family. I know I'm a weirdo. Even on here. Okay, so we got that all done and taken care of. Now we're going to put them together with some wire that is ridiculously tangled. And of course, you notice I did not use my good scissors to cut that wire. Use little old cheapy ones. And see, you just fold it, put it in between your fingers. It's all good to go. Make my little bow. I love that ribbon. It's so pretty. Then you're gonna take your wire and you're gonna wrap it around. Wrap, 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 wrap. And you're gonna have the extraness because remember we put those holes in the whatchamacallit earlier. I'm gonna have to feed that on through. Then we're dovetailing our tails. Now we're kind of just trying to figure out how we want to do it. Fold it in half, attach it to the bottom, wrap, wrap, wrap. What I forgot was that I needed extra wire to be able to wire it to the pizza pan. Words never work. Just saying. And this is me attaching more wire so I can attach it. And then I forgot about the little covering up piece, so I gotta do that. I glue, I fold, I glue. And I made this way too big. I always make them extra big just so that I don't have to be like, oh goodness gracious, I made it too short. And now this is where it becomes difficult because I did not put enough wire on the first time, so there's a little knot I gotta get through the hole. So yeah, this takes a bit. Because I wanted the bow on there pretty securely. And ideally, I would have one piece going through each side, and then I would just twisty wire it to the back. Yeah, see, there I'm going, trying to get it through the back, not thinking about it before. Still working on to get that bow. Yeah, this part took a while. Okay, so we got it on there. Now we're gonna need to fluff that. Just showing you how I did it. Gonna need to fluff it, fluff it, fluff it. There we go. There we go, fluffing. I like how big the tails are. Now I'm going to put just a tit of hot glue right there to hold the tails in place. And if that doesn't hold, that's not that big of a deal. I was just trying to get them to stay. Honestly, it kind of looks like Christmas ribbon from here, huh? Alrighty, that was it. Now let's move on to the next project. This one is a beaded garland. Everything here that we're doing today is watermelon themed. So let's paint this little round so we can adhere this napkin to it with some Mod Podge. Row, 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 row your boat. Sand the sides. Now we're going to heat it with the iron. That's what I'm waiting and rocking back and forth to. And peel it off. Now we're going to flip it on over. Smack it up. Smack it good. And we're going to do the same thing again. And then we're going to, I already did it once. You saw it for a little bit there. I took a file and stuck it through the hole. Kind of twisted it around. So I can put my yarn through there. See, yeah, there I am doing it again. All good. I did both sides. Alright, now we are beating. We are beating. We are beating full. Remove that little piece of fabric they put in there. It didn't really match what I was trying to do. So yeah, the beads are symbolize watermelon, and then you have the watermelon at the end. Super cute for a tier tray. Voila, we are done. Hello, the last project of the day. Alrighty, we are going to do a bottle cap from Dollar Tree. We are going to paint it with this beautiful red. Every red is beautiful. Just in case you didn't know. Now you do. Paint, paint, paint. Paint your booty. Paint your booty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put, after we're done painting, we do I believe 2 coats here. We're going to put a layer of Mod Podge on there. The reason for that is it makes it where it doesn't scrape off as easy, which in all honesty I probably should have done the Mod Podge first, then the paint, then the Mod Podge. I believe that way it would have stayed on better. But anyway, I'm gonna put this napkin all over it, so you ain't gonna see most of the red, so it's not that big of a deal. And if a little peels off from me removing off the edges, not that big of a deal. We'd be like, that's wear. That's purty. My bestie loves distressing things. So you're welcome, Mel. This distressedness is going on in hers today's. Dry, dry, dry. Dry, 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 dry. of course, I get a little thirsty. I love making these little bottle caps. I'm so sad that they know that I can't find them no more. I don't know if it's just in Texas that they don't have them in the stores or what, but they are next to impossible to find. I believe I'm just about done with the red paint. Then we're going to dry it and move on to Mod Podge. Once again, remember this is metal, so if you are using this, make sure you don't touch it if you heat it too much, because it will be hot. Hot. And make sure you stay hydrated. I stay hydrated with my sweet tea. I love sweet tea. Now we're drying her up. All good like. Now we're applying the Mod Podge. I did a pretty heavy coat of the Mod Podge, hoping that would help against scratches. And because of that, it took a little bit to dry. Applying my big old heavy coat of Mod Podge. Then after I'm done applying the Mod Podge, I'm going to dry it with my heat tool. Once again, watch out. Metal gets hot. Did I mention heavy coat? Real heavy coat. Still not sure why I didn't put that paintbrush directly into the jar to be soaking so it doesn't dry on there, but you know what? I digress. love how shiny gloss Mod Podge makes something look. So pretty. Wonder if you use glitter Mod Podge if it does the same thing. Can you use glitter Mod Podge and still hear a napkin? But would you see it? That's a good question. I should try that next time. Glitter Mod Podge and then put a napkin over it and see if the glitter comes through. That's like a very pretty red. Got this napkin from Dollar Tree. I think I have every single one of the round ones they make. If you ever see a napkin that I use that you like, let me know. I got multiples. I am a napkin connoisseur. Is that the right word? Connoisseur? Whichever it is, I have a whole bunch of napkins. Okay, now that it's adhered, now we're going to sand off the edges. I know you can't tell at this speed, but I was actually quite gentle with it because I didn't want it to peel too much. Okay, and here is my mistake. Oh, there it is. I did not use what you call it. It was not adhered very well. So then when I put the iron across it, it kind of ripped. So now I'm going to take one of those extra little pieces um, and kind of just put it on there and see what happens and hope for the best. And because of my little mistake, I'm going to take some ribbon and kind of try to draw your attention away from it. I was just going to do a little that, but because I ripped it, I was like, nope, I need to do something else with it. So I'm going to go get some ribbon to put on it. Okay, so here's me making the bow. That first piece is the tail. Alrighty, now we're gonna hot glue it to it, because I think with it being adhered to the napkin and not to the metal, it'll do a little bit better. But before the video ends, I just want you to know I love you all. Thank you for coming this far in the video. And y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.